So I was huge on the Preacher bandwagon at the beginning of Season 2. I felt like it hit such good momentum, especially with the Saint of Killers trailing Jesse, Tulip, and Cassidy. And I felt like the ceiling of the show was really, really high. Where it could go, a lot of good characters, and now I feel like the last half now of Season 2 is really dragged out. And it's starting to feel a little bit like Season 1 again, where it's a lot of character building, which is good for any show, but we had a lot of that in Season 1, and I'm starting to feel like Season 1 was basically not necessary at this point. That maybe they should have made Season 2's story just start in Season 1 with, we get a quick background story of Preacher and then him sending this Eugene character to hell, because what they're setting up clearly is a Eugene revenge story against Preacher for sending him to hell. And all these other stories now with Cassidy and his son, that wasn't even mentioned in Season 1. Why not just mention that in Season 1 and start that going right away? So I feel like this is its own season in its own right, and I would tell someone watching Preacher, Season 2 starts from where the comics start. You don't really necessarily have to watch Season 1. We don't even know half those characters we were introduced to last year anyway. We don't even know Arseface's dad anymore. We don't know Preacher's first kind of love interest. And that villain that was in Season 1, they're all gone. The town blew up. I know they want a fresh restart, but now if you're going to go back to the same pace again, I think it's a little too early for that. Keep the momentum going. When they got to New Orleans, there was so much. After the Saint of Killers went down that pond, it's really hit a halt here for me. I'm not enjoying it as much. And I want to, because again, I really like the characters, but it's not helping. There's so many commercials on AMC nowadays, and there's just parts of me that just feel like forgettable. Now, the pros of this episode, I will say, was seeing Laura Featherstone finally. We haven't seen her forever. We haven't seen Eugene in forever. And getting back to characters, stories that we haven't seen in a while, kind of felt like we really need to catch up from that previously on Preacher thing, because I don't even remember what was going on in hell with Eugene. So then it clicked to me, but it just felt like so long and too long to get to him. But we got to his scenes. I thought they were the best this week, especially where we went back to him with Tracy again. And Preacher ends up being in his nightmare and hell scenario. And it's like real hell. So it's already showing that resentment he has towards Preacher. So it's almost worse for him seeing Preacher with Tracy than just getting rejected by Tracy in general. That was really well done. And I thought it was hysterical with Eugene starting to sing to Tracy. That was really funny and out of nowhere. And it's set up well for getting back with Hitler and where they're going to go with that and how they're going to try to escape hell. Because I think he's going to try to escape hell and eventually get Preacher with Hitler. And then with Laura Featherstone meeting Tulip, that was cool. She quickly transformed herself again when they realized there was company, and they were right next door the whole time. Tulip is basically making a new friend with Laura, which can totally be a trap. And it's interesting to see how those two are going to combine now, because we're definitely not done seeing them hang out together. Especially with the whole bulletproof thing Tulip was talking about. Scenes with Preacher, looking at the videotape, really dragged. There's certain things that just not moving the pace enough, because it's constantly hindering on Preacher looking for God. But you got to keep it moving quicker now. Now I'm almost not caring anymore about where God is, and I'm really only caring about a Preacher Arseface duel at this point. So pick where you're going. Cassidy's story I liked with his son, but it felt like we've already had some of these scenes with him, and then we find out he's going to bite him at the end, and I thought they were going for he wasn't. So yeah, it's making Cassidy maybe a little less likable, because it's doing it out of selfish purpose to just do what makes him feel good at the moment and not see his son die, but he's going to make him a vampire and live forever, which could totally backfire, really. And he had the whole speech with Tulip that he is pretty miserable. So, I don't know. I just think it's got to move quicker. We're in the last 5 episodes now of the season. Keep me invested. Keep it moving. And let's get some more payoff now. And the hair star introduction they show last week, now in the preview for next week, we're going back to him, and it already seems like he's doing a lot of moves, but then I feel like we don't know him well enough yet either. So there's some people that are getting no screen time, and then a bunch of people are getting too much screen time. So they got to balance it out a little more, because you got a lot of potential here still. Overall, this was probably my least favorite episode of the season. I'm going to give it a 5.5. It had its moments. I love the Eugene part. I like the Lara Featherstone part. It was good to see characters we haven't seen in a while. The characters we have seen, a lot of repetitive stuff to me. So let's get them moving. Let's get them out of that hotel or motel or morgue, wherever they are. And let's get back to them on the road. Thank you so much for watching. Please Follow me at Steve Varley1 on Twitter and Instagram. Comment below with your thoughts. Maybe you like this episode, maybe you didn't. Let me know. I want to hear everybody. I respond to everybody. And please subscribe. I review Preacher every week. I also do Game of Thrones. I also do a new show, The Sinner, with Jessica Biel. And I do movie reviews as well and trailer reactions. Please keep coming back.